So, da sind wir direkt wieder. Ja, Gabriel Knight, Teil 1. Also da freue ich mich ja schon richtig lange drauf. Ich habe den ersten Teil damals ja selbst gespielt. Ich weiß nicht, warum die anderen Teile an mir vorbeigegangen sind. Und das ist schon so lange her, ich weiß nicht mehr wirklich viel darüber. Ich weiß nur noch so im Groben, worum es geht. Also, lass uns aber direkt reinspringen, würde ich sagen. Ach, laden brauche ich ja nicht, spielen. Ich träumte in der Nacht Gestade voller Blut, sah Augen sündigen Blicks. Der See war weich und tief und schwarz, ein Duft wie ihre Haut.
I bet. Just a minute. It lives, I see. Do you want to speak with Lolita? I'm sorry, but Gabriel is allowed. Oh, I mean, he's out. Yeah, if he ever comes back, I'll tell him. You know, you could do better. I know I don't know you, but you could do better.
Also,
Sure.
Eins vorweg, dieses Spiel, das lebt halt viel von Dialogen. Es geht wirklich darum, Dialoge zu fühlen. Viel Text, viel Input, um weiterzukommen. Und der Typ mit seiner rauchigen Stimme ist echt gut, ne?
I'm sure that's it. Maybe I should write a horror novel on passive resistance instead.
So don't sleep. It's your body. Anyway, your handheld tape recorder came today.
Really? Great.
I can't wait to see what human rights you violate with this one.
I can't wait to violate them. For example, if you would just let me...
And I located some local voodoo references for you. Dixieland Drugstore and the Historical Museum of Voodoo. Both are right here in French Quarter.
How would I ever manage without you?
You? Give me a break. The devil himself couldn't change you.
Ja.
Well, if the devil had great legs, perhaps, like yours.
Das ist ein Schwerenöter. Das ist ein richtiger Schwerenöter.
Sure. Well, if you need any more research done, just ask. It's not as though we're swamped with customers.
So, ja, das ist quasi das alte Sierra-Menü halt, ne? Man,
Books could use some serious renovation, but Gabriel likes to think that the place has character. St. George.
man mit der linken Taste ändert man halt die Sachen. So, das Problem ist, das Spiel zeigt einem halt gar nichts. Ne? Hier könnte irgendwas sein. Und wenn man nicht weiß, dass es da ist und man es nicht anklickt, findet man es halt nicht. Das highlightet halt hier einfach nichts. Ja? Aber ich denke mal hier, das ist die Lupe.
Mind if I borrow the magnifying glass?
No, Sherlock. Just bring it back when we get the next estate shipment.
No problem.
Und immer wenn dieses Geräusch kommt, das ist wie bei den alten Sierra-Spielen, ne, das ist halt diese Punktewertung. Ne? Man hat halt hier Punkte 1 von 300. Dann hat man hier die einzelnen Regler. Was war denn noch? Genau, das war das Inventar. Da ist der Rekorder, da kann man sich die ganzen Notizen immer wieder anhören, die man halt findet und macht. Ja, hier ist einfach nur noch mal das Menü. Da kann man es halt direkt anklicken, wenn man halt nicht durchklicken möchte. Ich speichere jetzt einmal ab.
Gabriel.
Warte mal, wie war denn noch mal speichern? Das ist speichern, ne? So, Test. Ich will mal schauen. Ah, okay. Das Hilfesymbol gibt mir nur Hilfe über die Symbole. Also sehr, sehr dürftig. Gut. Denn das war, glaube ich, Pinzette, ne? Ja, das sieht man. Man sieht ja, dass das eine Pinzette ist.
Look a little scruffy.
Just trying to make you feel at home.
So, dann reden wir jetzt erstmal mit ihr. Was war nochmal? Genau, Fragezeichen war das Reden.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Die sieht eigentlich total hübsch aus, ne? Also, ja.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I didn't know much of anything about it until you started researching it for your book. Now I know that it's active in the city. There's that shop, a museum. It can clearly be dangerous in the wrong hands. You should be careful investigating it.
Wenn man Eve jetzt eine andere Haarfarbe, so eine Auberginenfarbe Haarfarbe geben würde mit der Brille.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Just what I read in the paper, same as you.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Well, I've only been here 2 months, but I love it. It's so much more alive than any place I've been. It feels like anything's possible here.
So, ich glaube, die roten Sachen, die gingen noch
About
nicht.
yourself, Grace.
Yeah, right, Knight.
I mean it.
What do you want to know?
Okay.
How come we haven't been out yet?
I'm still waiting around for that lobotomy. As soon as I get it, I'll let you know.
Okay, schade.
How do you like working at St. George's Books?
Well, it's not exactly a huge intellectual challenge. Although the math in your record books could confuse Einstein. Still, I love old books, and it's a nice way to pay the bills while I explore the city for a summer. If you ever pay me, that is.
Die hat quasi gerade angefangen.
What do you do after work?
Well, I either go to my oil painting class or my Tai Chi. You know that.
You know, you can go overboard with this improving yourself stuff. You don't want to alienate us mere mortals.
I suppose I should just allow my mind and body to atrophy.
Works for me.
Wie alt bist du?
Oh,
Das
then
fragt
that's
man
not
doch
how much
nicht.
Just tell me anything at all.
I just got my master's in history and classics. My folks wanted me to go on right away for my PhD, but 18 years of school was enough. I needed a break.
Just tell me.
I came to New Orleans because I'd read so much about it and I thought, spending a few months here would clear my head.
Just tell me.
Geht da noch was?
now.
I've always wanted to do something really adventurous, you know? Something real life. I'm sick of libraries and lecture halls.
So, einmal noch.
Tell me anything at all.
My folks are traditional Japanese. I don't even
Ja, das habe ich schon
remember myself.
rausgesehen.
I was 3 when we came to the States.
Nothing, I guess. Never
Das habe ich
mind.
schon gesehen, dass sie so einen leichten asiatischen Touch hat. So.
Do you know anything else?
I've told you all I know. Sorry I can't be more help.
Do you have
Nachrichten?
messages for me?
Dana called, and Susie left a message about a lawsuit.
Awesome.
Okie dokie.
Okidoki.
Do you
Weitere
have
Nachrichten?
messages for me?
Your grandmother called.
I keep meaning to get over there. What did she say? Did she sound good?
She sounded great, and we had a nice little chat about you.
Grace.
Don't worry. I didn't go
Uh-oh.
into detail about your cardinal sins. Not that anything about you could surprise her. She adores you anyway.
She's my girl.
But she said to remind you to stop by and go through your father's things.
Okay.
Ah, das war auch gut.
Do you have more messages for me?
Here's a strange one. You got a call from someone named
Wolfgang
Wolfgang
Ritter
He said he was calling
aus
from Germany.
Deutschland.
He told me it was urgent, maybe you should give him a call.
Immer diese
German,
Deutschen.
well, if it's really important, he'll call back.
Well, fine. Let's just hope he's not with the German lottery for pitiful American authors.
Noch Nachrichten?
Messages from me?
Your friend Detective Mosley called. Talkative, isn't he?
Especially with you.
Also wie gesagt, da geht einiges über Dialoge. Man muss echt lange quatschen und viel Story, viel Story.
Humphrey.
Fascinating.
And that he left some photos for you at the station, at the front desk.
It's about time.
Also müssen wir aufs Polizeirevier. Ich muss mal schon mal einen neuen Zettel anfangen, sonst wird das hier wieder nichts. Alter, wenn ihr meine Zettel sehen könntet mit den ganzen Notizen von den Spielen. Holy shit.
You're getting privileged information, aren't you? Did you tell him you'd put him in your new voodoo book?
A writer has certain obligation to his readers, you know.
Gabriel, you know you'll never put him in your book. Your main character is a female orthodontist. You're gonna be reincarnated as a pit bull if you keep screwing with your karma.
As long as it's a male pit bull with a really big...
That's enough. Thanks.
Oh, er ist echt schlimm, ne?
Thank God.
So, noch Nachrichten?
Self, Grace.
What else do you want?
Achso,
Nothing else.
Suit yourself.
weitere Nachrichten?
Messages from me?
I've given everything to you.
Okay, das waren jetzt alle Nachrichten. Sehr gut. Nachforschung?
Some research for me?
Sure. What?
Okay, kann ich noch nichts zu sagen. Sehr gut. Gut, dann haben wir jetzt erstmal alle Dialoge durch und wir haben schon 6 von 342 Punkten. Gehen wir doch erstmal in unser Zimmer rein.
Gabriel doesn't need anything from the bookshelf. Gabriel might as well leave that here.
Der Narrator ist echt, die Stimme ist echt gewöhnungsbedürftig. Ah, stimmt, genau.
Jill. You never know.
Gabriel might as well.
All my clothes look the...
Gabriel might as well leave. Gabriel might as
Ah, stimmt, das war die Taschenlampe, ne?
flashlight.
Okay.
Gabriel might as well. It's Gabriel's bed. Unmade as usual.
Okay.
The curtain door leads to. The typewriter is beginning to accumulate cobwebs.
Should I feel guilty? Nah.
Nee.
Gabriel's bedroom is also his office, studio, and library. A poster on the wall advertises Mardi Gras, the biggest party of the year in New Orleans.
Mardi Gras, gibt's das wirklich?
Mardi Gras mementos left by some female or other.
Gehen wir jetzt mal raus. Hier war nichts. Ach, die Zeitung. Können wir was mit der Zeitung machen?
Times Picayune, dated June 18, 1993. The front page has an article about the voodoo murders. The article says that the victims are all identified as members of the underworld. The
Okay, Unterweltmitglieder.
is in no danger. Police claim the so-called voodoo trappings found at the crime scenes are fake, a scare tactic, and that the murders are not associated with any genuine practitioners. Gabriel also scans the
Er ist Wassermann.
horoscope for the day. Potential storms ahead. Proceed with caution and do not get involved with anything new at this time.
Right.
Okay, das war auch gut. Kaffee? Kann man einen Kaffee ziehen? Ja, erstmal ein Käffchen. Ohne Käffchen geht doch hier nichts, wa?
Good coffee.
Kann man noch ein Buch nehmen?
Gabriel leaves through a German-English
Deutsch,
dictionary.
Englisch? Ja, das ist wichtig.
Tag means midday noon.
Geht das öfters?
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Spiel means game. Interesting.
Oh, cool, da gibt's einfach so random Phrasen.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Himmel means heaven. Uh-huh.
Himmel. Himmel.
Gabriel's had all those books in the bathroom and doesn't care to read them again. Gabriel cannot see any way to pick that up. Gabriel does not want to work. The desk is too heavy to be moved.
Kann man da die
Nothing to open or close there. Gabriel doesn't even want to know what Grace keeps in those drawers.
Das sieht aus wie ein Safe.
Seem to work that way.
Die Kasse? Oh, das geht.
Gabriel opens the cash register to examine the take. Or, in the case of St. George books, the mistake.
Was ist das denn?
I trust you can live without this old gift
Ein
certificate.
Geschenkgutschein?
Knock yourself out.
Ah, und jetzt? Was ist das?
Grace keeps her art supplies here.
Ah, okay.
St. George books could use some.
Kann man den Mantel nehmen?
It's a bit warm in here. Gabriel decides to wait until he leaves to put on his coat.
Ja, die gehen wir mal raus, wa?
Gabriel
Ah, ich mag die Musik von dem Spiel, ne?
Later.
Don't hurry back on my account.
So, wo fahren wir denn jetzt hin? Das ist die Buchhandlung, das Voodoo-Museum, Polizeiwache, Napoleon-Haus, Dixieland Drugstore. Haus von Gabriels Großmutter. Dann gehen wir doch erstmal zu unseren Großeltern hin.
Gabriel, I'm so glad you stopped by.
Sorry it's been a while, Grandma.
Not at all. Give us a kiss. Now come and sit down. Tell me how you're doing.
Oh, das Spiel ist echt gut, ne?
Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy. How can I help?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? What an odd question, Gabriel. Of course, you always were interested in monster movies and all that other weird stuff. You get that from your father and granddad. I don't know anything about it, dear. Of course, it was very big in New Orleans at one time, but you don't hear about it so much these days. Too much else in the world to worry about, I guess.
Die Morde? Ja, wollen wir sie damit belästigen? Wir müssen mal schauen.
Voodoo murders.
Oh, Gabriel, nothing. And I don't want to. I sometimes wonder what this world is coming to.
Dann reden wir erstmal über schönere Sachen.
Yourself.
Me? Oh, surely you have something more interesting to talk about.
Oh, come on, Gran.
All right, dear. What do you want to hear?
What do you do all day?
You know how I love to knit and work in my garden. I
Oh.
also take long walks. It's the only way to keep an old body like mine from stiffening
Ja, was halt so
up.
Rentner halt so machen, ne?
Oh, don't be foolish. I'm older than the hills.
Tell me about before you met Granddaddy.
Well, you know I was born Rebecca Wright. My daddy owned a lot of land outside of town. We grew peas, corn, cotton, all kinds of things. It was a good childhood,
Oh.
but my father was very strict. He didn't much let me out of his sight.
Und wie hast du den denn kennengelernt?
How you met Granddaddy?
I met Harrison at a church revival. There was a traveling preacher back then, a big fella named Reverend Jim. I even remember his slogan, "Come to me to find your way." Your granddad was sitting right behind me and my girlfriend Alma, and at one point, old Reverend Jim was flinging his hair around with his fire and brimstone annex, and a piece of it, one of those small add-on do's for men, went flying off. I swear, Harrison and I were the only ones that noticed. We both
Okay,
started
das
laughing
ist
to be a
krass.
band. Everyone looked at us like we were a couple of loonies. It was then I knew that he was for me.
How you feeling these days?
Fit as a fiddle, and don't you worry your head about it.
Just tell me anything at all.
I had your father when I was 22. The doctors told me I couldn't have any more after him, so I'm afraid I spoiled him rotten.
Okay.
Nothing, never mind.
All right, dear.
Tell me
Familiennight.
about our family.
Who would you like to hear about? Your granddad, your father, or your mother?
Tell me something about Granddad.
Your granddad immigrated to America when he was 21. He worked his way through school, met and married me, and we had your father, Philip.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Your granddad supported me and your father with bookkeeping.
Okay.
Tell you what, though, he hated every minute of it. Didn't really like bookkeeping one bit. Maybe that was why he had the worst luck with jobs. The nights he'd come home afraid to tell me he'd lost another. And I would tell him. It didn't matter to me. But he felt ashamed, Gabriel.
Tell me,
What more do you...
Okay, der Dialog ist durch.
tell me something about.
Harrison was only 36 when he died. Your father was 8 years old at the time. Your granddad was hit by a streetcar in the business district. Took me nearly a year to believe he was really gone.
I'm sorry, Gran.
I know you are, dear.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Did you know that your granddad was a poet? He was! He wrote the most beautiful poetry for me when we were courting. I always thought he should have done something with that gift. But he was such a practical man. Didn't believe in chasing after dreams.
Tell
Okay.
me about my father.
Your father was my only child. How we adored him. Philip suffered from terrible nightmares, just like your granddad did. They were 2 peas in a pod.
Ja, wir haben auch solche
Tell
Albträume.
me about my father.
When Philip met your mother, it was love at first sight. They were married 2 weeks later. Never looked at a girl seriously until then, and he looked at plenty. You have your father's way with women, Gabriel, and your granddad's.
Tell me about my mother.
Your mother was Margaret Templeton when your father met her. She came from a very wealthy Creole family in New Orleans.
Mhm.
Beautiful and reckless. She was madly in love with your father, of course, but I also think she liked defying her family. Since you're so interested in family history these days, why don't you go by St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 and visit the family tomb? It would be a sweet gesture.
Maybe I will.
Familien. Grab. Suchen.
Tell me about my mother.
Your mother's family refused to give her money after the marriage. All she had left was a modest trust fund from a great aunt, who happened to like Philip. The remainder of your mother's trust fund became yours when she died. That's what you used to open your bookshop.
Tell me something.
I don't know what else to tell you.
Tell me about...
I wanted to just lay down and die when he and your mother were killed in that car crash when you were only 8. It was the thought of taking care of you that kept me going, Gabriel. The police say your father swerved off the road after being frightened by something. Perhaps a deer in the road or a wild cat.
Tell me something.
I don't know what else.
Ah, okay, der ist
Your
durch.
granddad wanted Philip to have a normal life. He was obsessed by that thought. He pushed Philip to go to law school. But Philip was driven to art. He painted almost in a daze. He would get so inside himself when he worked.
Tell
Okay.
me about my father.
He always hated it that it was Margaret's money that supported the 3 of you when his painting couldn't. I kept telling him, try something more cheerful, like a landscape or two. But he couldn't do it. His work was just too dark and disturbing for the public, you know.
Machen wir ihr noch mal ein Kompliment.
Get prettier every time I see you.
Oh, you.
Have you baked any of your incredible molasses pies lately?
No, dear. But you let me know when you want some, and I'll whip up half a dozen.
Gut, dann haben wir jetzt, denke ich mal, erstmal alle Dialoge durch, hoffe ich. Können wir hier was mitnehmen?
Doesn't need any. Steal Granny's knitting? How low can you get?
Alter!
How you been, Gran?
Just fine, dear. I'm sorry I bothered you at work, but I was hoping you'd get a chance to go through your father's things in the attic.
Don't be silly. You can call me anytime.
Okay, ein Dachboden. Müssen wir hier hochgehen, wa?
Go up to the attic, Gran.
Be careful of the dust.
Was ist das denn?
Gabriel doesn't want to take the clock.
It looks pretty.
The lid, there is the old, the trunk that doesn't work that.
Was ist das? Ein Skizzenbuch?
There's nothing I want in there.
That box of Gabriel can
Was ist das denn?
an elaborate mechanical clock, probably of German origin, is among the discarded treasures of the attic. It doesn't seem to be running at the moment.
I think I'll leave that up here.
An
Oh, ist das jetzt Rätsel?
Nothing happens. The hands do not appear to have any mechanical function other than to move. Gabriel can't operate the clock that way. Gabriel does. The trunk doesn't op.
It looks...
The lid is blocked by the clock.
Ah, ich muss die Uhr wegmachen.
The clock won't.
Anybody here? Anybody?
Gabriel doesn't.
I think I'll leave that.
There is.
Wie kann ich denn die Uhr beiseite kriegen?
Gabriel doesn't. An elaborate mechanic. Gabriel cannot see a way to use. The trunk doesn't.
It looks pretty.
Gabriel's not. Gabriel doesn't.
It looks pretty heavy.
Hm.
It look
The old
Muss ich jetzt erstmal die Uhr?
the Gabriel count the face of the face. There's Gabriel doesn't.
Oh.
The hand. Gabriel. The key should stay with the clock. Nothing happens.
Gibt es da einen Hinweis für?
Gabriel count. The Gabriel. The Gabriel. That way. The key should stay with.
Granddaddy, you old fox.
Why do Gabriel can't open the secret drawer?
Was war das denn jetzt?
The back of the photo has the following written on it. Schloss Ritter, 1920.
Schloss Ritter.
The letter is written in German, but Gabriel determines what he can about it. It was sent from a place called Schloss Ritter in Rittersberg, West Germany. The letter is addressed to mein Sohn Heinz and signed Wilhelm Ritter. One of the reoccurring words strewn throughout the letter is the word Schattenjäger. The only thing that Gabriel can decipher about the letter is a sense of urgency in the handwriting and in the heavy use of quill tip, bold strokes, and underlining.
Okay. Gibt's hier noch was?
Anybody?
It's an old dusty bicycle tire. It's an old metal tub full of dust and cobwebs. The old trunk looked like it's gone to hell and back. The brass bed frame is from God knows where.
Das Skizzenbuch wollten wir uns ja noch anschauen.
Images haunt the pages of Philip Knight's sketchbook, the way they must have haunted his mind. The images touch a deep chord in Gabriel. So familiar are they that he finds it hard to believe they aren't from his own subconscious. Kann
man hier umblättern? Nee. Oh.
Gabriel does.
You've already got me, you lucky devil. It looks pretty heavy.
Gabriel does. The clock. The trunk.
Ich will wissen, was in der Schublade, in der Kiste drin ist, aber ich krieg die Kackuhr nicht weg.
Gabriel cannot see a way to use that.
It looks pretty.
Gabriel's not quite up to rearranging the attic.
Oh. Wie kriege ich hier noch die Kackuhr darunter?
Gabriel does.
Gibt's hier noch irgendwas? Das ist neben.
I think
Gabriel.
Ist hier noch was zu sehen?
A skylight lets welcome sunlight into the attic.
Hier noch was an.
The chair's too dusty to sit in.
Oh. Aber die Pizza.
Using that on the clock won't help.
Okay. Hm. Na gut, dann kriegen wir es da nicht runter. Dann gehen wir mal runter. Reden wir nochmal mit der Mutter. Großmutter.
That's it. Take a load off, hon.
Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy. How can I help?
Do you know anyone named Heinz Ritter?
Heinz Ritter? Oh, Gabriel. Where did you hear that name?
I found a letter in Granddaddy's clock.
I promised I'd never tell you or your father. But I suppose it doesn't matter now.
Tell me, Gran.
Your granddad's name was Heinz Ritter before he came to America. He changed it to Harrison when he arrived.
Das ist interessant.
I don't know. I tried to ask him about his family, his life before America, but he didn't want to talk about it. Never even told me about his name change. I found out one day when I saw his passport in a drawer, since he obviously found it painful. I never questioned him about it. But I'm sure it wasn't trouble with the law. Your granddad was the best man I ever knew.
Na dann.
Didn't Granddad ever say anything about his past or his family?
Only that his family was crazy, and that he never wanted to see them again. He believed in some family curse, thought that he could spare Philip and Philip's children from what he called old nightmares. Whatever Harrison wanted to spare you, though, it cost him plenty. He never did sleep well, and he would often get a far-away, guilty look in his eyes. He was wrestling with something he thought he should be doing, someplace he thought he ought to be. I don't know how he could think that he should be anywhere but with me and our child. It's a terrible way to live.
Do you
Das
know
ist krass.
anything else about Heinz Ritter?
I've told you all I know about your granddad's past.
Gut. Dann denke ich mal, haben wir hier alles. Ah ne, Schattenjäger.
Ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Schottenjäger?
Schattenjäger.
God, Gabriel. I haven't heard that word in years. My goodness, you've given me a chill. Your granddad used to say that sometimes in his sleep.
Aha.
Do you know what it means?
No, I'm afraid not. I asked him about it once. I don't think he answered me. Odd.
Thanks, Gran.
Gut. Dann haben wir jetzt hier alle Dialoge durch. Dann denke ich mal, sollten wir mal zur Polizeistation gehen.
Well, Gran, I better get
Okay.
All right, dear.
Franzosenviertel. Wo ist denn hier die Polizei? Police Department. Es ist irgendwie immer awkward, zur Polizei zu gehen, auch wenn man nichts gemacht hat. Ist ja...
You cannot see any way to pick that up.
Okay. Dann reden wir doch mal mit dem guten Wachmeister.
Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
What
Fangen wir mal oben an.
Voodoo.
Me? Nothing. I'm a Catholic boy.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I'm not allowed to give out information on police cases.
Du bist ja ein richtig netter Typ.
Ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Can't say that I have, but it sounds dirty.
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's out at a crime scene. Sorry.
Er ist an einem Tatort. Okay, wo ist er denn?
Where is the crime scene? Is it related to the voodoo murders?
Crime scene information is police confidential. We don't need any more.
Oh, Mann.
Probably already there.
Come on, you can tell me what the crime scene is.
Look, I know the paper's got everybody stirred up about these killings, but that don't make it public information. Back off.
So this is a new voodoo murder then?
Hey, I didn't say that. You'll read all about it in the papers tomorrow, I'm sure.
I was supposed to pick up some photos from Detective Mosley at the front desk.
Is that right? And who are you?
My name is Knight. Gabriel
Gabriel
Knight.
Knight.
Yeah. I got
Yeah.
something for you, all done talking, I'll give it to you.
Ja, dann haben wir doch mal das Gespräch gleich beendet.
Gabriel Knight.
Thanks.
Dann schauen wir uns noch mal die Briefe, die Fotos an.
The envelope has Gabriel's name written on it, misspelled.
Das kenne ich.
Gabriel opens the manila envelope.
Meinen Namen schreiben sie auch immer falsch.
Two photographs.
Ei. Ist das die Niere oder ist das die Leber, die da fehlt? Das müsste doch irgendwie Richtung Niere oder Leber sein, wa?
One of the photos from Mosley is an official Voodoo Murders crime scene shot. A graphic close-up of a victim.
Das? Was ist das denn?
Photograph of Mosley was apparently taken upon his graduation from the police academy.
Damals hatte er noch Haare.
He had hair then.
Dann reden wir doch mal nochmal mit dem.
Can I bother you again?
What is it this
Er
time?
hat richtig Bock, ne? Er hat richtig Bock.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Das wollte ich doch nicht. Ach Mann, jetzt habe ich...
Can I bother
Oh.
you? Tell me about
Da.
yourself.
Who, me? I'm the Death Sergeant Frick. Why?
Rick?
That's right. You got a problem with that?
Not at all. Tell me about yourself.
You see that front door?
Yeah.
Well, I watch people come in. See this book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I write people's names in it, see? People that bother me. Want me to put your name in this book?
Of course.
I think not.
That's what I thought.
Tell me about yourself.
I hate people who ask stupid questions.
Gut. Ja, dann kommen wir hier erstmal nicht weiter. Dann würde ich sagen, gehen wir mal zu dem Friedhof, was unsere Großmutter gesagt hatte.
Gabriel cannot open.
Bin ich hier falsch? Also das ist der Beichtstuhl.
A meshed window provides.
May I help you, my child? Could
Oh, dann gehen wir erstmal die Beichte nehmen.
Do you feel the need for a blessing, son? You wouldn't believe me if I told you. All right, if it will comfort you.
The priest blesses Gabriel through the confessional window.
Peace be with you, son. Thank you, Father.
Gehen wir hier mal raus. War doch eben irgendwo Ausgang. Jackson Square. Ach, da ist der Friedhof. Oh, was ist das denn da? Schauen wir uns doch mal an.
The marks are reddish in color and reminds Gabriel of crosses. They look like they've been here a few days at least. The marks are red. The wall, the tomb, using that.
Wartet mal. Kann ich die aufschreiben?
I want to
Alles klar.
these strange marks.
Kann man da ist den Stein da mitnehmen?
The marble and the marble and grass. Near the Laveau tomb is a piece of red brick. Undoubtedly a cast off from spiritual.
Kann ich den mitnehmen? Ja. Sehr gut. Was ist das denn?
Thanks.
Was ist das?
A stone angel stands silently before a tomb.
A marble snake. Now that's cheerful.
An angel with a cross stands guard over one of the tombs.
Okay. Ah, hier ist das Grab des Brides. Reden wir mal mit dem Typen.
I'm sorry to bother you.
Yeah? What can I do for you?
Mind if I pick your brain a minute?
Go ahead. These folks ain't in no hurry.
Tell me something about St. Louis Cemetery, number 1.
You know why the dead are buried in tombs and not in the ground, don't you? The water table's too high. Them coffins would float right out of their graves. Them dead would go floating right down into the water. Course, if it were Mardi Gras, nobody'd even
Er hat
notice.
sein Späßchen da. Er hat seinen Spaß.
Tell me something about St. Louis Cemetery, number 1.
It's a historical place. People buried in here from the Civil War and back further too. Take a look around, you'll see.
Tell me about yourself.
My name is Toussaint Gervais. I'm the watchman here.
Französischer Name?
What exactly do you do here?
Oh, I keep the place tidy, cause, but a big part of my job too is looking out for the grievers, you know. People come to pay their respects and they need looking out for. Sometimes they so grief bound they don't know what they doing.
Okay.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
They say it was part of an old religion from Africa, brought here by slaves.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Ain't it just awful, them finding those bodies with voodoo things around them? I don't think there's any real voodoo going on. Somebody's trying to cover their tracks is all.
Okay.
It's rather rude to
Das ist das Familiengrab, ne?
the Wright family tomb. Several of Gabriel and Grant's family members are laid to rest here. Vases seem to be a grinning grotesquerie. Tops. This family tomb bears the inscription, "Rest in peace," and the name Fuller Mill.
Gut, hier kann man jetzt auch nicht wirklich weiter, aber geht's jetzt hier noch nach rechts?
A stone angel leans down to give. This old tomb has a sword carved into the stone below
Okay.
the name of the deceased.
Das sieht ja cool eigentlich aus.
An angel draped dramatically over a stone plinth marks the entrance to a large tomb. There's a small marble plate near the tomb doors.
Was steht da drauf?
The plate is locked in position. There's a keyhole on the plate, but Gabriel can't operate that without a key.
Ah, okay, da brauchen wir einen Schlüssel für.
To the east, there is only the back wall of the cemetery.
Gut, dann gehen wir jetzt mal wieder zurück. Dann gehen wir mal in die Kirche rein. Da waren wir ja eben schon.
The tomb
Ah, sorry. Okay. Viele Infos haben wir jetzt bisher nicht, ne? Ach, jetzt müssen wir echt warten, bis er da das Bild gewechselt hat. Napoleon-Haus. Aussichtspunkt Jackson Square. Jackson Square. Die Kathedrale. George Buchhandlung Voodoo Museum. Wir gehen jetzt einfach mal in die Kathedrale. Oh, was haben wir da?
confessionals are a subtle, old-fashioned presence on the left of the nave.
Was ist das denn?
There's an inconspicuous...
Ach, hier ist der Umkleideraum vom Pfarrer. Kann man hier was mitnehmen?
I can't resist black.
Das dachte ich mir.
You've already got me, you lucky devil.
Gabriel, the crucifix might come in handy. The mirror...
Ist da noch was drin? Der steht da leider vor.
Nothing on that...
Was ist das?
Well, you never know when a priest's called.
Ein Kragen. Ach, das sind diese Kragen, die diese Priester immer haben. Oder?
This is the... This... Nothing on that shelf. One...
Habe ich das Ding jetzt?
This is the last page of... Those...
Ach, der ist da drin im Anzug. Alles klar. Okay. Ist hier noch irgendwas Nützliches?
The class, in other words, handsome. The small nook must be used as a ready room for the parish priest. It's small.
Geht's hier noch weiter?
Gabriel cannot do anything with the chancel. Gabriel can...
Das ist heiliger Boden.
The Chancellor of St. Louis Cathedral. Gabriel can... Gabriel... Gabriel can... Gabriel... Gabriel can... There is...
Geht's hier noch weiter? Okay, wo sind wir jetzt? Scheint wieder dieser Jack. Ach, das ist der Park. Leute, der läuft einfach der alten Frau hinterher. Er hat ja nicht so einen guten Arbeitstag, wa?
Well, I'd never. Leave me alone, you man.
Wir müssen hier schnell raus, bevor wir nie wieder wegkommen. Wir sind ein Pantomimen-Typ. Er kann ja noch langsamer gehen, Alter. Und das sind auch Musiker. Auch Musiker. Oh, ein Polizist. Hä? Jetzt habe ich den Dialog wegge... Was hat er denn in sein Mikro gesprochen? Krankenwagen zum... Oh, könnte das der aktuelle Mord sein? Dann sprechen wir mal mit dem Typen. Vielleicht kriegen wir, während wir mit ihm sprechen, ja was mit.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Not now, buddy. I'm busy.
I should have noticed that. Thanks.
Yeah, right.
Huh.
Anyone seen Joe? Ambulance to town.
Ich weiß, glaube ich, wie wir den dahin wegkriegen, den Typen, den Polizisten. Ich habe eine Idee.
Gabriel...
So, du kleiner Pantomime-Typ, dich brauche ich einmal. Es klappt. Immer schön hinterherlaufen. Ja. Jetzt gehen wir hier zum Polizeiofficer.
Cut that out.
Uh-oh.
I told you to stop that. All right, mister. You want some of this?
So, dann gehen wir jetzt mal ganz kurz hier hin.
Gabriel, a cop. Gabriel picks up the headset and listens.
Ambulance 911, have you located the crime scene? They've radioed
Jetzt bin ich gespannt. Lake Retreat Country Club.
Lakeside Drive north of Piedmont Pier, south of the country club.
Man, I don't know if it's the clouds out here today or what. Good thing this guy's already dead.
Everyone's having trouble. Must have been hallucinogens in the coffee this morning.
It's just so misty out here or something. Hey, I see a squad car. Got it, Molly.
Thank God. Have a good one, 911.
Interesting.
Stupid mime. Hey, you!
Sorry.
Ich habe nichts gemacht. So, jetzt haben wir den Tatort.
The
Oh.
crime scene team is still at the site. Gabriel parks a bit out of the way and walks over to avoid adding to the general confusion.
Hi. Das geht ja jetzt mal schnell.
Hey, mostly. Huh?
Knight, you wiener, I told you not to call me that.
Feeling jumpy?
Who, me? Don't be stupid. How'd you find me?
Oh, I was just driving by.
Ja, ja, genau.
Well, for the book. But don't tell anyone I let you see this, huh?
So, jetzt bin ich mal gespannt.
It's another one. As you can see, same MO and no frickin' clues. We're still waiting on an ID for the body.
That's disgusting. Isn't this a rather, public area for this kind of thing?
Yeah, they're frickin' ghosts, these guys. Lakeshore Drive isn't exactly the 10 expressway, but it is open to the public. No reports and nothing. Now, who the hell is that?
Hi. Hallo.
Good day, Miss Getty.
Miss Gedde, das war doch der Name auf dieser Familiengruft mit dem Schlüssel.
You to be concerned about, Miss Getty.
I see. Thank you, Detective. And good day, gentlemen.
Whoa, I'm in love.
Forget it. That's Malia Getty. She's about as far out of your reach as the moon. Probably on her way to meet some guy with a yacht right now.
Near here?
The lake's a popular place for country clubs.
If she's out here a lot, maybe she saw something or heard something.
Man, nobody ever sees nothing. I told you. Besides, you just don't go around bothering people like her.
We've about wrapped it up, sir. It's another clean sweep.
Yeah, let's get the meat wagon moving then.
Do you want to leave an officer here, sir?
Nah, just leave the tape up for a few days.
Yes, sir. If you'll excuse us, sir, we'll take him away.
Es geht so schnell, ey.
Stick around.
Was ist denn das da für ein Gekritzel? Das muss ich mir unbedingt nochmal ansehen.
I'll be back at the station. Stop by if you want to go over the case some more.
Thanks.
So, was haben wir denn da?
There seems to be a pattern to the lines in the sand.
Das schreiben wir doch mal auf.
Let me try to get this down.
Kann man hier noch was sehen? Wartet mal. Ach. Ist das?
It's extremely big sand.
Da?
It's very large grass. Gabriel is already magnified.
Das Blut?
Gabriel is our Gabriel.
Ja?
It's very large. It's very large.
Ist das da was?
There are marks in the grass.
Was ist das?
The scale looks a little delicate to pick up by hand.
Nehmen wir die Pinzette doch mal.
Gabriel carefully uses the tweezers to take the small iridescent scale.
I think it's a snake scale, but it beats the hell out of me. What kind?
Okay.
Gabriel magnifies the scale from the lake. The iridescent scale is brilliantly hued with greens and purples.
Okay.
The partial Gabriel the marks upon Gabriel that does it's very large. There's nothing. There's not.
Gibt's hier noch irgendwas?
It's extremely big sand. Gabriel doesn't need any more rocks in his pocket. Gabriel doesn't. There's no. It's very. Gabriel does. Gabriel.
Kann man hier noch weitergehen?
Gabriel. Gabriel hates. Gabriel does. Gabriel. That. Gabriel does. Patches of grass have managed. Gabriel is on the sand and clay shore of Lake Pontchartrain. At the site, there's nothing. There's. Gabriel doesn't need to use that on the clay. Gabriel can.
Is that clay?
Oh.
Yuck.
The sand doesn't.
Ich glaube, dann soll man, glaube ich, alles haben hier, wa? So. Ja, das war unser erster Tatort. Aber ich würde sagen, wir machen für heute erstmal Feierabend. Ist ja jetzt schon doch recht spät geworden wieder. Morgen muss ich wieder früh raus. Ja. Auf jeden Fall wird es definitiv mit Gabriel Knight weitergehen. Ich liebe das Spiel. Gut, also, ich bin für heute raus. Ich danke euch allen fürs Zuschauen. Ich wünsche euch alle einen wunderschönen Restsonntag. Den Montagmorgen kriegen wir auch rum. Das ist kein Problem. Ja, für alle, die noch nicht haben und gerne möchten, lasst mir ruhig ein Follow da. Das würde mich super riesig freuen. Ansonsten morgen wieder 19 Uhr, wie immer. Ne? Ich bin weg für heute. Macht's gut. Ciao.